built-in competitive advantages. When you think about it, natural resources, climate, our geography, water, nature, and wind, solar elements, that the characteristics are all here for us to be energy efficient on a whole nother level. Agriculture, one of the most fertile valleys in the world, right here in our region. 320 days of sunshine, that's tough to beat. 320 days of sunshine, the proximity to the capital, the proximity to the Silicon Valley. These are all things that I believe give us a competitive advantage. Why do I believe that we can make this vision a reality? I look out here in the audience and I see all you people that have been doing good work and plugging along in this area. And you understand the importance of a region. When I got elected mayor, I realized my job could not just be the mayor of the city. We needed a regional outlook, a regional perspective, and that's my commitment. The things that we're doing do not stop at the borders of the city of Sacramento. They go much broader than that, and I think that's going to be one of our strengths. When I think of a competitive advantage, again, we are already the #1 green job growth place in the country, 87% over the last 12 years. We've already led the state when it comes to green job growth. We were able to receive over $225 million of economic stimulus funding for energy efficiency programs in our community. In terms of green tech, clean tech, which I really believe has a chance to be the differentiator of everything that we do. We have 100 clean tech companies. We're already one of the top 10 areas in the country when it comes to clean tech, and we're just getting warmed up. We have 100 companies, 2,000 employees, $750 million worth of revenue. When you think about what we're doing here, that is innovation. Innovation is supporting these clean tech companies. Another thing that's an advantage in terms of innovation are our utilities. We've got SMUD and PG&E. These are cutting edge utility companies right here in our own backyard. We have the elements in terms of innovation. In terms of intellectual capital, we've got UC Davis, we've got Sac State, we have our community colleges, we can stretch out to UOP and Merced and other places. We have, in fact, Sac State, they're getting grants every time I look up on smart grid and the things they're doing, which is great for our community and region. And then UC Davis, and I don't know if you know this, is one fact point, they have a larger research and development budget than Stanford and MIT. Wow. Right here in our community. These assets are here. If we can figure out a way to harness and leverage those competitive advantages, it will set us apart, I believe. So that's the intellectual capital piece. And then in terms of influencers, the third eye is really, when you think about influencers, we are just a few blocks away from the Capitol, where all the policymakers are that make these major decisions to impact our state. And I think the governor's challenge, and it's going to be all of our challenges, can we put policies in place that create incentives for businesses and not become impediments? And that's a big challenge for all of us, and these are some of the things that we're going to be able to work through. The other thing when it comes to this notion of influencer is venture capital. We're already getting our share of venture capital dollars here, but we've got to get even more. And the fact that we're just right down the street from Silicon Valley, there's companies down there every day that are looking to expand. We first and foremost have to keep them in California. There's too many companies that are leaving California. We have to keep them in California. And I'm very, very competitive, as well as the governor. So if they want to stay in the Silicon Valley, it's great. But if they want to expand, then certainly Sacramento would be a great place for them to move and come on right up to. So we have an opportunity to recruit in a healthy, friendly way. I better move on from that. Another advantage we have in terms of federal, I was in Washington, D.C., and the administration back there identified 3 priorities, and you guys have heard these before. They want to make sure that the funding that they're going to give at the local level are going to be around regional economies, sustainability, and neighborhoods of promise. That means mayors are positioned to take advantage of making that investment from Washington become a reality if we do our part. And on the flip side, the other thing that the federal government said, they're going to work through interagencies, no longer silos. They're not going to just work, one department is going to look at one city and another department is going to look at another area. They're going to all work together. So we in our region, we're the first in the country to bring together Region 9, EPA, HUD, and Department of Transportation. We brought all 3 of them together. They were all in one room, and they said it never happened before. How strange is that? They had literally never been in the same room together. So we have to continue to think as a region and take advantage of these opportunities. And again, I think as a mayor, we're well positioned to do that. But somebody asked me the question the other day is, how did you get to this point? Where did this discovery come from? And it was really simple. There were two challenges. Since taking office, the two challenges that were apparent to me are, number one was the economy, and number two, the environment. In terms of economy, we're facing difficult times. We all know that. Our unemployment rate is 13% in our area, higher than the state. Our foreclosures are at an all-time high. We, and I as a mayor, and we collectively have to do everything that we can to stimulate the economy. We have to do everything that we can to put people back to work again. So for us in our region, we've got to diversify our economy. We are over-reliant on government jobs, 100,000 in our community. We're over-reliant on the real estate industry. I believe, when I think about what we're doing, technology is the key. There's a world demand for power, it's called clean tech. There's an aging population, life sciences. We believe that fast-growing, diverse economy and high-value jobs are what we can go after in our community. That is about diversifying our economy in a real way. And that's what I mean by a bold vision to get to where we need to be. And those jobs need to be living wage jobs, they need to be medium, and they need to be high wage jobs. And that means we will all win. In terms of improving our economy, you guys all know this, I'm preaching to the choir. We waste too much water, we drive too much, our homes and businesses use too much energy. The opportunity here to kill two birds with one stone, diversify our economy and create jobs, and improve our environment, that's what I mean by a green economy. I think that's where our opportunity area is. So for me, that's what I discovered. So what can I do? That was the question I had to ask myself. What can I do? How should I spend my time? How can I best assist all the work that's already going on? In my first year in office, I did 4 initiatives: homelessness, volunteer, arts, and education. All 4 of those initiatives, we went on to get national recognition. This year, my second year, we're focusing on one thing, and it's green. All of our energy is going to be about a green economy and improving our environment. This is where I believe our biggest opportunity area is in our community. I realize that if I convene people, if we coordinated and aligned all the efforts that we were doing, if we brought people together with a mindset that it's not about the individual, it's not about our companies, it's not just about our organizations. We've got to put aside our personal agendas when we're together for a few minutes. So put your self-interest at the door, you come in, we're in this collectively, then when you go out, pick up your self-interest again. And then when we move along in this initiative, then your self-interest, I guarantee you, will be met at a very sweet spot if we do it the right way. But if we put our self-interest at the front of the discussion, I don't believe we're going to get to where we need to be. And that's the mindset I'm asking and challenging everyone in here to be mindful of. We have to have a bold, transformative shared vision. That's what our region deserves. That's what I believe that we collectively can do. In terms of how we're going to get there, my last point on this is we're going to create an action plan. And that action plan is going to have clear targets and goals. It's going to have an implementation strategy, and it's going to be a regional approach. That is going to be our deliverable by the time we conclude this particular initiative at the end of the year. A very clear action plan. In summary, let me just say this. Yes, we're going to create jobs. Yes, we will improve the environment. That means we have to walk the talk. We can't just say it. Yes, we're going to have to answer questions in terms of what does it mean to be green. Yes, we're going to embrace the technology sector. Yes, we realize technology is a key component for economic development. Yes, we will take a regional approach for what we do. But there's one more thing that I think will make this initiative a movement. And it's really what we as a region should be thinking about. How do we raise our IQ? How do we get a high green IQ? And that takes place with a public outreach. It takes place with education and public awareness. It's all of our responsibility at home and at work. That personal responsibility, it is all of ours if we're going to get to where we need to be as individuals and collectively. And the last thing I'd say, and this reminds me of the First Lady and her commitment, it's about social justice. That movement that we're talking about will not occur if the least among us are not participating in this green initiative.